And now it's time for something completely different. We play Sarissa for this section, and Sarissa cannot use bombs. She does, however, have the most useful gun in the game. It has a semi-auto lock-on, and it's very powerful. It's much easier to dispose of enemies with her than it is with, well, our protagonist doesn't really have a name, does he? Anyway, we escape, so now we need to go find him. The protagonist, that is. We got him in a lot of trouble, so we should go get him out. First, we do have to find what floor he's on, and we're gonna check the floor where he fought Alyssa first, since that seems to make the most sense. We still need all those numbers for the elevator security, so I hope you remembered them or wrote them down. I wrote them down a very long time ago. There is a room on the left side of the third floor that we didn't look in previously, so maybe he's in there. You never know. Well, we definitely found them, but being sedated does cause people to be incapable of movement, so we gotta find a way to fix that. This is the room we previously entered with the main protagonist where we had to bomb down the door, and if we check the filing cabinet in here next to the button, the executive ID, if we check that filing cabinet with the protagonist, he would just say he had no idea what the hell that was. They must be some really weird looking IDs. Anyway, let's go look on the right side of the third floor because we haven't been there as anybody yet. Surely there's something neat in here for us. In this room we have two items of interest. We have a document on the relaxant we used, and we have some, well, I'm not going to pronounce that chemical, but we have it now. I'm sure that document on the relaxant is going to be important to help our friend, but we should go and explore that fourth floor that we haven't yet. We haven't even touched it. And the reason we didn't touch it is because most of the doors on that floor required the executive ID. And we do have that now because we've done some poking around, but that's still not the final ID card. Hopefully if you were playing this yourself, you bothered to write down and memorize the code for this floor even if you didn't go to it. Sarissa's gun does have infinite ammo if you were curious. It's impossible to run out. She just uses EP for some reason, like the protagonist does. Which is weird, because I'm pretty sure she's not a bioweapon. Pretty sure. As was said in the last video, all of the layouts of these floors are identical. It's just the rooms themselves that are different. And this one has what we need. It's startling how good Sarissa's gun is at close-range encounters. Usually guns are not good for close-range combat in video games, which isn't all that realistic, but still. We now have two chemicals, which is what we need to reverse the relaxant, even though you don't know that. But I told you, so now you do. There's a bunch of lab equipment on the second floor that if we checked with the protagonist, he would have said, I don't know what any of this is, please stop telling me to touch it. But Sarissa, you know, she works here, so she presumably knows what all that is for. And we have to do something with these chemicals, right? I did look up these chemical names out of curiosity, and they are definitely not real. They were just made up for the game. Though NeoGamma is the name of some emulator or something? Anyway, when we get to the lab equipment room, we're in for quite a puzzle. Took me a while to figure out, but that's why I did it ahead of time, so you don't have to watch me do that. So the way this goes, I will open the relaxant document, so you can see for yourself. Chemical P and the NeoGamma need to be heated to a certain temperature, or else mixing them together won't give us the antidote to the relaxant. Chemical P has to be between 48 and 79 degrees Celsius, and NeoGamma has to be between 63 and 71 degrees Celsius for the mix to work. However, when they're outside of the heater, they cool down rapidly. So you need to figure out which one to heat first and what degree you need to heat it to account for the cooldown factor. Chemical P, the one we're heating right now, cannot be heated above 80 degrees or it simply will not work until it cools back down to 30 degrees. But NeoGamma cools down much more rapidly, so it needs to be heated second. The solution is to heat Chemical P as much as you possibly can without going over the limit. That means up to 78. And it doesn't simply stop heating when you let go of the button, just like, real heaters. So we're going to place Chemical P in one of the mixers and quickly run back over to heat up the Neogamma. We're going to heat up the Neogamma to the limit as well because it cools down so incredibly fast. But we don't want to heat it up so much that we risk Chemical P going below its useful temperature. So yeah, it's about math. It's a math and logic puzzle. It's one of the more fun ones in the game. Let's grab the Neogamma and put it in the mixer, and if we did everything properly, we should get the anti-relaxant formula.
That's it. I made a run for it with the stone. Then, I lost to him in a fight. Greed. The director of the facility, and my original. I never had a memory in the first place. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. I can't just stand around this place.